In this demo session, we'll try to showcase you some glimpse of the entire training program and give you an idea on what all topics we are going to cover in detail for this upcoming training session. First of all, let me tell you the plan for the training duration and the training structure. This will be a 5 weeks program and there will be 2 sessions planned for each week, Saturday and Sunday. The duration of each session will be 2 hours or slightly more than that. So basically the total instructor-led session duration will be 20 hours for this program. This will be a complete interactive session where participants can ask any questions, clarify their doubts on real-time basis, and discuss the issues with the instructor. And after attending this training program, participants will be able to design, build, and run the solution for SAP sales and distribution for any kind of business in future. Now coming to some key areas or why anyone should enroll to this program. So here are some highlighted features of this particular training. First of all, the entire training will be done on S4HANA and will touch base on the detailed comparison between ECC to S4HANA. Then second, we'll share the in-depth knowledge on the new topics which are recently brought into S4HANA in comparison to ECC, and we'll show the participants how to configure and run those processes in the system. Third, the most frequently used business process in any type of industries will be configured and run end-to-end on the system as a part of hands-on exercise which will be performed by the participants. Fourth, participants will get a flavor of Fiori, which is the new user interface and the mobility solution introduced by SAP over the traditional GUI approach. Fifth, the complete system will be built from the scratch and the basic understanding of SAP SD functionalities will be covered, which is required for any kind of greenfield implementation. Now, let me show you the day-wise agenda which we have planned for you for this particular training. So you can see that this is the day-wise agenda which is being prepared. So this will be complete 10 days training program. So on day 1, we are going to cover the organizational structure. We will show you like how to set up the organizational structure, how to define different organizational unit, how to assign them to each other. Then on day 2, we are going to cover the master data, which is required to process any kind of sales transaction. Then on day 3, we are going to cover order to cash cycle. On day 4, we are going to cover the sales process, and shipping process will be covered on day 5. Billing process will be covered on day 6. Then day 7, we are going to cover some automatic data determination in order to cash cycle, like in sales order, delivery, and billing document, how the different data are automatically getting determined by the system. That we are going to cover on day 7. And on day 8, 9, and 10, we are going to cover SAP SD basic functions. So basic functions is divided into 3 parts. So part 1 will be covered on day 8, part 2 is on day 9, and part 3 will be covered on day 10. So this is the complete day-wise agenda which will be covered in the entire training program. And at the end of each session, there will be a guided hands-on exercise which will be provided to the participants, which they can practice on the system later on, and whatever questions and doubts they have, that can be clarified on the next session. So this is how we will be conducting the training program. And it will be a complete system-based training, and along with the system demo, we'll also cover the theoretical part and concept reinforcement on each topic. There will be a lot of business example and industry experience will also be shared in the context of each topic for better understanding of the participants. So now coming to the key topics which we are going to cover in this training program. So first, we are going to cover the sales and distribution overview. So sales and distribution is one of the key components of SAP ECC system, and it is used to manage the sales, shipping, and billing of the products and services to the end customer in an organization. This module is closely integrated with other modules like SAP MM, PP, and FI. The entire process is popularly known as order to cash cycle, as the process starts from creating a sales order and it ends up by posting the invoice. Post that, accounting entries are generated in the system. With reference to that, cash is collected from the customer for the products delivered or the service provided to the customer. So that's why this entire process is called order to cash cycle. So it is the process through which an organization generates the revenue through the sales. To run this order to cash cycle, first we need to set up the organization structure. So organization structure is the setup to represent the complete overview of the enterprise model of the business by defining the different organization unit and assigning them to each other. Then once this org structure is set up, as a next step, we need to set up the master data required for executing the cycle. So master data is the fixed set of data which is used repetitively to process any kind of transaction in sales process, like the customer master data, material master data, price master data, etc. Then once this org structure and master data is set up, then we are going to cover the entire order to cash cycle. So we'll just set up the order to cash cycle, run it into the system, and you can see these are the key features of this particular course which we are going to cover on order to cash cycle. Then these are the topics which we are going to cover in this particular training. First is the enterprise structure. Then we are going to cover the sales master data. Once enterprise structure is set up and master data is prepared in the system, then we'll run the order to cash cycle. So order to cash cycle is getting started from this order management, where we will create the sales order. We will see like how we can manage the sales order in the system. What are the different associated functions which is there in the sales order? What are the configuration which we need to build in the background to run a particular order management process in the system. Then we will come to shipping process, like we will see what are the parts in the logistic execution, what are the different subsequent activities we need to perform to execute the shipping process in the system so that customer can receive the goods. Then once this shipping process is done, then we will cover the billing process, like how we can invoice the customer, how we can generate the revenue by creating the billing document for the products, whatever we have delivered to the customer, or the service whichever is provided to the end customer. We are also going to cover the basic function, like there are some utilities function which is there along with this order to cash cycle, like the availability check, then the output management, partner determination, account determination, pricing functionality, all those basic functionalities of sales and distribution module you will be going to be covered in this particular session. Then also we will do some tips and tricks, like how the different process we can manage through the different tables and the transaction codes, so that we are going to cover. And finally, we are going to cover the Fiori and sales analytics, like how we can run a particular order to cash cycle in Fiori Launchpad, as well as we will do like what are the analytical app or embedded analytics which is available for this particular sales process. So these are the topics which we are going to cover in depth. So we will first thing, we will set up the enterprise structure or the organization structure. So in this particular topic, first we will define the different organizational elements in a business, and then we will assign them to each other to set up the complete enterprise model. Then second thing, we will define the customer master, that is the business partner in S/4HANA, and also we'll define the material master. We will see like what are the setup and the controls which is available in the system to prepare the master data for customer master and the material master. Then we will going to cover the sales order structure, that we have three level of structure in the sales order: the header data, item data, and the schedule line level data. And also we'll see the what are the customization which is available for this entire sales order management. Then we will see the shipping process configuration, how we can define the delivery type, how we can define the delivery item category, how the different controls are available, what are the different controls are available in the shipping process or delivery document, how we can do the picking and PGI, how we can control them. So that we are going to see it. Then we are going to cover billing and accounting interface, like how the billing document can be created, what are the different customization which is available for billing type, how the accounting document is automatically posted in the system, what are the different backgrounds, what we have in the system for account posting, what are the debit and credit entry got posted. So that we are going to cover it into this particular billing and accounting interface section. Then we will run the complete order to cash cycle, starting from some pre-sales activities like inquiry, quotation, contracts, up to the billing and accounting document. Then we are going to cover the basic function. So most important basic functions like the pricing one, the output determination, partner determination, free goods determination, incompletion logs, all those different basic functions we are going to cover it along with the complete configuration and setup, and also will run the business process using those basic functions. And then finally we are going to cover the Fiori Launchpad, like how we can run different business process steps in Fiori Launchpad, and also we will see like what are the different types of analytical apps which is available in S4HANA. So along with this theoretical part, we are also going to cover the system demo as well as the hands-on exercise which will be performed by the participants with the guidance of the instructor. So first hands-on exercise, we will create and assign the organizational unit, that is the complete enterprise structure we will do. Then we will create the business partner customer, we will create the material master, then we will create the sales order with the help of this enterprise structure, business partner and material master. Then we will run that outbound delivery, we will create the outbound delivery. Then we will perform the subsequent function like picking and PGI with reference to that outbound delivery. Then we will create the billing document. We'll run this entire order to cash cycle in the Fiori Launchpad. We'll set up the new pricing model for sales. We will see like how the different pricing components can be incorporated into sales order to get the different customer to achieve the different customer requirement in terms of pricing. Then we will set up and test different basic functions in sales and distribution like the incompletion procedure, partner determination, free goods determination, material listing, exclusion, all those things we will set up in the system and test it with running the different business scenarios in the system. Then we'll run some standard business scenarios in the system like the cash sales scenarios, consignment sales process, third-party sales scenarios, intercompany sales scenarios, some standard business scenarios, we will run it into the system. And finally, once it is over, we will also cover the SD reports and analytics part, like what are the different reports and the analytics which is available in S4HANA. So there are basically, we have the sales report and the sales registers, then we have the inventory report or the stock analysis report, the general delivery due list or the outbound delivery list of outbound deliveries, invoice list, then sales overview. These are some key analytical apps which we are going to cover. We will execute it, and also we will see what are the different functionalities, what is available, and what we can achieve through these analytical apps. Then finally, we are going to cover some tips and tricks in sales and distribution. So, we can see like what are the different tables which is available, like what are the tables is available in master data, what are the tables which is there in order to cash cycle, like the tables for sales order, the tables for delivery document, tables for the billing document. And then finally, we are going to cover the embedded analytics apps, like how we can see the entire order to cash performance, how we can see the sales overview, how we can do the profitability analysis from the sales process, like how we can manage the different business KPIs through the embedded analytics apps. These are the topics which we are going to cover in our entire training session. So this is only the glimpse whatever we are going to cover in the entire training session, and these are some key topics. So we will discuss all those topics in much more detailed way. We will run through the system end to end. We will do the configuration, we'll set up it, and we'll run the business process when the actual training starts. So we will see you soon on 9th October when the training is getting started. Thank you very much.